Hi, I'm with Justin Altmann, who is running for mayor of Whitchurch Stouffville. Justin, welcome to Bullet Point News.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks. So, Justin, what are the qualities that would make you a successful mayor?
Qualities that would make me a successful mayor is I have integrity, I have compassion, and fortitude. I went through a lot of different hard and challenging times with our municipality. I never gave up. I constantly put myself out there, and it was the compassion from my residents that again reciprocated back as compassion towards our community. I love our community. I love everybody within it. So never give up and very still strong.
If you were elected mayor, how would you be accessible and transparent to your constituents?
Transparency is key under the municipal act and everything as such. I am communicating with the residents. Being in the position of the mayor is a position of being an ambassador, which means you have to be that conduit talking to your residents, talking to everybody, knowing what's going on. Continually, I'm always going to many of the social groups, cultural groups, and going on in town with whether it be agriculture or schools or so. I'm constantly out there. We have our vehicle that's branded with Altmann on it. We take that everywhere. People see, they come, and we're very accessible to the through social media, emails, phone calls. Everybody has my personal phone number, and always more than happy. And typically, when we're out for lunch, dinner, breakfast, anything like that, lots of residents will come, sit down, talk. So very open, very transparent, and love talking with people.
What issues concern you the most and why? And what are you going to do about them?
There is some great concerns here. Over the last 4 years, we had actually finished up on some of the legal challenges that we had brought against us from the last council. And I'm happy to say that we won all 7 legal lawsuits, all 3 audits, and overturned everything which was unfounded and unsubstantiated. And it was Mayor Lovett that was behind that with the council. So with that, the 4-year pause was one of the greatest things because the community actually got to see what this council was directly when they were elected into office, 81 days in office. They gave themselves a 78% raise. They gave themselves a $9,000 car allowance, which they collected for 2 years on Zoom while laying off 14 of our staff. We saw them sell Soccer City, putting 1,500 families out of soccer and telling them to go to Markham, Richmond Hill, or other areas. They then bought an old abandoned building in the downtown for $1.2 million after they got caught in a backroom deal. And then from there, they attempted to sell our parkland, consisting of cricket pitches, baseball diamonds, and soccer fields, for $78 million, taking a $400,000 deposit, and then leading the developer all the way down single source tender with no public input and nobody even knowing to back out of the deal to now have us in a $38 million lawsuit. These are some of the serious things that we need to deal with right away, but we also have many issues for attainable affordable homes. We also have wastewater infrastructure that is failing in our town, and we're at a 74% asset management that's in poor condition, and we need just $15.9 million a year just to maintain, just to keep that lifeline on. So there's some very serious things that we have to take care of for the municipality while this council is focused on paving over our green belt, Oak Ridges Moraine, white belt. They should be focused on infilling and building with the community and the community's desires, not what they think the community needs.
What initiatives do you think require more funding?
Funding is it's a very hard thing as we loom into what analysts say is a recession that's coming. We're seeing all levels of government are tightening up and are short of, from the federal, the provincial, the regional, and then down to the municipal. It's getting harder. Um, Areas of funding definitely is always infrastructure. Infrastructure is key, the wastewater especially. We've seen many issues there where we have to upgrade those systems and the funding isn't there. Land is another issue so that all residents can be more connective, especially in the rural areas and that, and even within the town where you travel, you see your phone service and that drop. What we saw for the pandemic, people were staying home for 2 years and still have not really come out fully. So they do depend on that for communication, learning what's going on within the community, the country, the world as a whole. So we need to get definitely more funding for our infrastructure, for roads, wastewater. Hydro is another very large thing. We have a lot of blackouts and brownouts, and the broadband. So these are some key areas that we need the funding on that we have to get creative on.
How would you improve transportation in Stouffville?
Transportation in Stouffville has lacked for a long time. I've been here 40 years, born and raised here. Our family's been here for 150 years. And growing up as the youth in this town, and even now as a young adult, it's always been a concern. What I propose is that we use the federal gas tax plan, and the government is giving out from the federal down to the province, and they can put out 375 million a year to 109 municipalities that are accepting that right now. There's 144, and unfortunately, we're one of those municipalities not in it. So I propose that we would rent short-term 1 to 3 minibuses that are AODA compliant, that can hold 8 to 29 passengers, that can go around our town and run our own private routes, and then have funding come from the provincial government for our funding for this bus route.
What would you do for small and medium-sized businesses?
Small and medium-sized businesses, is, again, it's very hard, but the most important thing is branding our town in a way that we attract people through tourist events and activities, and support and supply to our business community the tools and the access they need to get out there to the community. As we come into a possible recession, I think we need to have a stakeholders group that works on a weekly, and even I would to take council meetings from being once or twice a month to every week, as we come into these harder times, so that we got our thumb on the pulse and we know what's going on with the community and try to work with everybody there. So it's going to be some hard and challenging times, and there's many different variables that are going to affect every business individually in a different way. So working together as a brain trust is what we need to start with.
This past year, what accomplishments of yours are you most proud of?
Past accomplishments that I'm very proud of within the municipality is that I was able to stop a trade center being built in the middle of town, which then converted to the Longos Plaza and brought a great number of jobs. Also, we partnered with the same developers to bring Bloom in Mongshong, one of the largest long-term care facilities approved in Ontario, and they're expanding still. We were also very strong on getting more commercial industrial business in around the Hoover Park of the commercial condominium units for more business. And I want to see that one of my main projects is I want to work with Corebridge, the Zwad group, and bring a post-satellite campus for nursing and doctors and paramedics into the Hoover Park area to create attainable, affordable housing within that area, long-term care and retirement, where satellite campuses can then come and work and be within those units. So that's another big thing on the agenda that I would love to see happen.
What would you say to undecided voters?
To the undecided voters, I ask you to go to stouffvillestrong.com and watch our platform videos, read our material. Feel free to call me anytime on my phone number. It's 289-716-7746. If you see me in around the streets, door knocking, driving, honk, pull over, say hi. Don't be worried to stop us. If you see us sitting down to have a bite in one of our local restaurants, say hi and share your concern. I want people to reach out, and I want people to ask the questions. And that's the most important thing in this election, is people have to ask those questions.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the audience at Bullet Point News?
To the audience, I would say the biggest thing that I've seen that when I'm going around doors is hope. People have lost hope, and it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad to see how many people are home that are worried, that are stressed. It really does break your heart, and people need to come back together. We've had some pretty challenging, hard years, and just again, be neighbors, be friends, be community, bring it back. Let's be real, and we just need to get back to our community. We need to get back to the way we were. It's been a little too long here. Yes.
Thanks so much, Justin, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.